Got to beat him again on the 10th.
My first sportscast here at Channel 4 nearly 34 years ago, I was given the company of an armed guard. The station was fearful that a disgruntled supporter of my predecessor might take a shot at me. I thought then that that would be the hardest sportscast I would ever have to deliver here. I haven't been afforded an armed guard tonight, but I found that I was wrong. It wasn't the first sportscast that was the hardest, it's the last. In my very first commentary, in my very first week, I asked for your patience, that I didn't know the difference between a South African Krugerrand and a French Quarter. But if you would stay with me, I would try to learn. You have, and I have. I have learned that a South African Krugerrand might feel better in your wallet, but a French Quarter felt better in your soul, and a little worse the next morning in your head. The best description I have ever heard of this indescribable city is that New Orleans is a long, lingering kiss on the lips of excess. I wish I had said that, but I'm happier that I have lived that in the embrace of a place, its people, this station, and its employees that I have grown to love. I have had no more admiration for anyone I've been privileged to meet in sports than former Saints president Jim Finks. When you had an audience with him and he knew it was time to move on for him, or for you both, he would take his leave with the phrase, "It's been a pleasure." It's been a pleasure.
Jim, you are not only the best sports writer, you are the best writer. You are
sweet.
Such a team player, such a good sport, the Clark Griswold of family men. Thank you for your friendship, and thank you to your family for sharing you with us all of these years.
You guys are so nice. I appreciate it so much. Thank you.
Only a writer as good as Jim Henderson could begin to put into words what he has meant to all of us, what this community has meant to him here and throughout the city during his 34 years at Channel 4.
Now we want to share in words, music, and memories some of the highlights of what has been an amazing career.
I can't think of a polysyllabic synonym to better express my reaction to that game yesterday in Miami.
Archie Mannings is the biggest veteran name to be added to a list of the departed that has grown very fast in a very short time. The sad part of the whole scenario.
Buenos tardes. Good afternoon from Mexico City, where just moments from now the New Orleans Saints get their 1978 preseason schedule underway against the Philadelphia Eagles.
News is, Walter Cronkite once said, people expect things to go right. When they go wrong, that's news. New Orleans sports is made of... Well, when we left Muhammad Ali at 5, he just finished his morning workout at his Deer Lake, Pennsylvania training camp.
The courting of Mark Ippolito began here at Brother Martin High School and became more intense with every fresh headline. Eventually, 44 universities around the country wanted him. They were as diverse as the states they represented.
Can I sail through the changing ocean tides? Can I handle the seasons of my
And then there's the understated yet equally ridiculous look such as this that only Johnny Cash would wear if he played golf.
I can tell you, if my little French bathing suit had come in today, I'd have been at the front of the line.
You looked like that before the war.
Before the war, I did.
You were shot with that fat gun. Incidentally, the dry cleaner called and he said your feather boa couldn't get out in time for today, but he will have it ready for tomorrow morning. Yeah, I'll have a little fishing to do this weekend at
you're
the
going?
Giants game.
But you didn't ask me on.
Oh, well, no, but
Or Garland.
Well, no,
Or Nash.
that's true, too, but I wanted to have a good time. You know, through 20 long years, the New Orleans Saints and their fans lost a lot of games, didn't they? A lot of games. But we always won the party. You think we ought to inform these folks that they've mistakenly gotten in line for Sugar Bowl basketball tickets?
I had no idea Ole Miss and Temple would bring so many people to town.
When you were down there playing, did you ever take note of individual fans in the stands?
Just the ones that were armed.
Just the ones that were armed.
Who wins the game on Sunday?
Would I look like Jerry Glanville or something? I mean, that's not my job. You know, I would tell you to buy a ticket, because you've never bought a ticket to anything. I don't know who's going to win the game.
Does this team have enough speed?
You know, if you're tougher than the other guy, you don't have to run away from him as much.
1 week from tomorrow is Fat Tuesday.
Tomorrow in New Orleans, as the Super Bowl champion New Orleans Saints parade through the city, will be Dat Tuesday. In this wonderful Mardi Gras season, we will celebrate Lombardi Gras. We stage Mardi Gras parades as much for others as we do for ourselves. Lombardi Gras belongs to us, all the Saints fans everywhere who kept the faith. If faith can be defined as a belief not resting on logical proof or material evidence, there have been no fans of a professional football team more faithful than you. A full-page ad I saw in the newspaper in support of the Saints prior to yesterday's game said, "The hopes of a city will finally go marching in." In the darkest moments in the history of this team and the city it represents, hope couldn't be extinguished. Hope couldn't be submerged. Hope couldn't be buried. Yesterday, hope was rewarded and faith was confirmed. This is such a wonderful time to be a Saints fan, a resident of New Orleans and the Gulf South. We are special, and now thanks to the massive exposure the Saints have given us, the whole world knows. Embrace that feeling as you embrace one another. No one can begin to understand it, to appreciate it, and to revel in it like you do. Know that, believe that, hope that we could, faith that we would, have both been realized as this wonderful feeling washes over us.
That was such a special time. You covered, you did play-by-play for CBS for a while, and you said you enjoyed it, but you weren't invested in who won or lost, and you loved it back here because you were invested, and that sort of shows it. I mean, you were part of that team. You were so much part of that win, really.
Well, it's great to be sitting in that seat. And I remember that year in 1990 when I did CBS with Hank Stram, I would always play a game with myself when we were on the road, and I really didn't know how the Saints had done that day. When we got back to the airport, to try to just feel how quickly I could determine whether they had won or they had lost, and it didn't take very long. And it was that kind of passion that I think you miss. When you call a game for the network, you can get on that plane and fly home, and it's over for another week. But when you're here and you do a game for the Saints, you live with it for an entire week, for an entire season, for an entire off season. And it's a tremendous privilege to have been a part of them, and that will continue.
I'm just thankful that, I know we're not going to have Jim across the table from us anymore, but I'm just thankful to know that we can still turn down our sets and listen to Jim, and that's going to be a pleasure still.
But Jim, I'm worried about you. I think you're going to get bored. I think you're going to pull a Brett Favre. You're going to be coming back out of retirement. Please let me come back to work. Well, the door's always open.
Always welcome.
Thank you. I'll remember that. And I'll become a big fan of the 9 o'clock.
Our 9 o'clock news on Channel 54.
We'll put a 34 on your cake today for 34 years. Should have put just number 1, my friend.
Absolutely.
You guys are so sweet. This has been a wonderful day and a wonderful time. I'm getting really sick of myself. You know? I've seen so much of myself today, probably more than anybody else wanted to see, but I appreciate you doing all that.
You're the greatest.
Thank you so much. It's been awesome to work with you.
Thanks, Dennis.
Appreciate it. That's our news for now. Thanks for joining us.
Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.